you. And our little peanut, Danny. Tears started to roll down my cheeks. I'm such a big baby, I said. I'm pathetic.
No, you're one of the strongest women I know. You've lost so much, and you're still fighting.
Yeah, but I'm losing the battle. I'm losing real bad, Sam. Then Sam pulled me close and hugged me. And for the moment at least, it was all better. Just like always. Part 1. The Letters. Chapter 1. My 2-bedroom apartment was in a pre-war building in Wrigleyville. Danny and I had loved everything about it. The city views, proximity to the real Chicago, the way we had furnished the place. I was spending more and more time there, holed up, my good friends said. They also said I was married to my job, a basket case, a hopeless workaholic, the new spinster, and romantically challenged, to name just a few of their more memorable jibes. All of them, unfortunately, were true, and I could have added some others to the list. I was trying not to think about what had happened, but it was hard. For several months after Danny's death, I kept having this terrible, obsessive thought, I can't breathe without you, Danny. Even after a year and a half, I had to force myself not to think of the accident and everything that happened after it. I had finally begun to date Teddy, a tall drink-of-water editorial writer from the Trib, sportsaholic Mike, whom I met at a Cubs game, Corey, a blind date from the 10th circle of hell. I hated dating, but I needed to move on, right? I had a lot of good friends, couples, single women, a few guys who were just buddies. Really, honest, I was doing okay, I told everybody, which was mostly crap, and my good friends knew it. So anyhow, my deadline for that day's incredible, awe-inspiring column in the Tribune was 3 hours away, and I was in a jam. I had already tossed 3 ideas into the recycle bin and was staring at a blank screen again. The really tricky thing about writing a witty newspaper column is that between Mark Twain, Oscar Wilde, and Dorothy Parker, everything we're saying has already been said, and said better than I could ever say it. So I pushed myself up from the sofa, put some Ella Fitzgerald on the Bose, and dialed up the air conditioner to high cool. I took a sip of coffee from my uncommon ground takeout cup. Found it so good. There is always hope in small things. Then I paced around the living room in my writer's outfit du jour, one of Danny's Michigan U jogging suits and my lucky red riding socks. I was dragging on a Newport Light, the latest in a string of bad habits I'd picked up lately. Mike Royko once said that you're only as good as your last column, and that's the truth that dogs me. That, and my anorexic 29-year-old editor, Debbie, a former London tabloid reporter who wears Versace everything and Prada everything else, with her Morgenthau Fredericks glasses. The point is, I really care about the column. I work hard to be original, make the words sing on occasion, and get the work in on time without fail. So I hadn't answered the phone that had been ringing on and off for hours. I had cursed at it a couple of times, though. It's hard to be fresh 3 times a week, 50 weeks a year, but of course, that's the job the Trib pays me to do. And in my case, the job is also pretty much my life. Funny then how many readers write to say that my life is so glamorous. They'd like to swap places. Wait, was that an idea? The sudden crash behind my head was Socks, my year-old mostly tabby cat, knocking The Devil in the White City down from a bookshelf. That startled Euphoria, who'd been snoozing on the very typewriter F. Scott Fitzgerald supposedly wrote Tender Is the Night on, or something like that. Maybe Zelda wrote Save Me the Last Waltz on it. And when the phone rang again, I grabbed it. When I realized who was on the line, a shock ran through me. I called up an old picture of John Farley, a family friend from Lake Geneva in Wisconsin. The minister's voice cracked when he said hello, and I had the strange sensation that he was crying. "It's Sam," he said. Chapter 2. I gripped the phone receiver tightly with both hands. "What's wrong?" I heard him suck in a breath before he spoke again. There's no good way to tell you this, Jennifer. Your grandmother has taken a fall, he told me. It's not good. Oh, no, I said, and sent my thoughts out to Lake Geneva, a resort community about an hour and a half north of Chicago. Lake Geneva was where I'd spent most of the summers of my childhood, some of the best times of my life. She was all alone in the house, so no one knows for sure what happened, he continued. Just that she's in a coma. Can you come up to the lake, Jennifer? The news was a jolt. I'd just spoken to Sam 2 days before. We joked about my love life, and she'd threatened to send me a box of anatomically approximate gingerbread men. Sam is a comedian, always has been. It took me all of 5 minutes to change my clothes and throw a few things into a duffel bag. It took me a little longer than that to catch and cage euphoria and